Hi, so for this activity, we are tasked to watch two films, which is Amélie and Rashomon. So these two films is very different with regards to mood and style, and even though they were made in different countries and different time periods, both films really focus on human experience, just in very different ways. So in this video, I'll be sharing my honest reactions and observations, and of course, comparison between the two films. And now let's start with Amelie. So this film is about a shy and imaginative girl, which is named Amelie and lives in Paris. So she enjoys observing people and doing small and secret of kindness to make other people happy. And throughout the movie, she helps the people, especially around her, while also slowly learning how to open up and allow herself to, experience love as well as connection. And on the other side, Rashomon is a much more serious, thought-provoking film, and it actually revolves around one crime, but the story is told from different perspectives. And in this film, every characters give a different version of what really happened, and with that, it will really make you question what the truth really is and whether the objective truth even exists. So I tried to research something about the filmmakers of these films. So the first one is Amelie. It was directed by Jean Pierre Hunet, which is known for his very artistic and quirky filmmaking style. And his film usually have a strong colors, creative camera movements, and of course a fairy tale feeling when you're watching his movie. So with Amelie, he showed how simple stories can become very magical through the use of visual creativity. And Rashomon was directed by Akira Kurosawa, which is one of the most influential filmmaker in the history. So he is well known with regards on having films that has deep storytelling and strong visual composition. So in this movie, which is Rashomon, it became very important in film history because it introduced the idea of uh, unreliable narration, which is still used in the films today. Earlier, I mentioned that in the film Amelie, it uses strong colors and creative camera movement. So, because the film used warm tones like red, green, and yellow, and of course, fast editing and close ups, and fun camera angles as well. And these elements help us to understand Amelie's personality and inner thoughts as well. And for me, these visual choices were very effective because they made the film feel more cozy and emotional as well. For me, Rashomon is quite different compared to Amelie with regards to visual style since it only uses natural lighting, long takes, and simple editing. And I think the repeated scenes are shown differently each time, depending on who is currently telling the story. And I think for me, this style is also effective because it visually supports the idea that truths depends on perspective. And if we are going to talk about the most impactful shots with the films that we've watched, I think for Amelie, one of the scene that stood up to me was when she skips stones into the water because it felt peaceful and emotional, which shows her quiet happiness. And another memorable part was the close ups of her facial expressions. So, this repetition and framing made her emotions feel very real, and for me, it's really personal. With Rashomon, I think one of the best scenes was the forest scene since it's very striking, especially the way that the sunlight strikes the sun. It gives a very strong contrast and lines, created tension, and of course confusion to the viewer. And I think another powerful scene with Rashomon was the ending at the gate, since there were rain and the wide framing. It symbolizes emotional resolution and hope. With regards to the similarities and differences within these two films, I think one similarity between the two films is that they both focus on human issues. So first, Amelie focuses on kindness and love, while Rashomon focuses on truth and ego. Another similarity for me is that they both rely heavily on visuals instead of dialogue. And for me, a major difference is with their styles and the mood. Amelie is light and it's also hopeful as well as romantic, while Rashomon is very serious and philosophical. Another difference is the visual style, just like what I've said earlier. Amelie is more on the colorful side, while Rashomon is something about more on the realistic and minimal side. And I think these two films is a proof that every movies and films really don't need heavy CGI to make an impact to the viewers. You just need to have strong storytelling, good cinematography, and a meaningful themes. These are more than enough to engage an audience or the viewers, specifically emotionally and intellectually. And in my personal experience watching the two films, I would say that I really enjoyed watching the films and the movies. So Amelie gives a comforting, creative, and emotionally warm presence while you're watching it. It's very engaging and easy to watch. While Rashomon was a bit slower, but it made me think deeply and question human behavior and truth. I wouldn't say either film was boring because, in my opinion, they were both engaging in their different ways. And after watching both Rashomon and Amelie, I think it made me realize and appreciate more how film can tell really powerful stories in completely different styles without relying on the modern uh, type of effects. And I think both films give me or left a strong impression on me. That's all. Thank you.